Update, I caught my wife, F34, not being honest with me, M34, about something and now for the first time in our relationship and I don't think I trust her. Hey everybody, just wanted to start by saying thank you to everyone who took the time to respond to me and sorry if I haven't written back but the amount of responses have been overwhelming and I have a lot on my mind as you can probably understand. I sat on everyone's advice for a few days but decided all the cloak and dagger stuff wasn't for me and I just sat her down and confronted her on it again. She maintained her version of events and we weren't really getting anywhere so we agreed that she would go and stay with her parents, which is where she has been for just over a week now. She is coming home this weekend to try and finally resolve this. What she doesn't know yet, or at least what I hope she doesn't know yet, is that probably against my better judgment I contacted him and it went as well as I should have expected it to go. It resulted in him telling me they did have a sexual relationship but it's over now. I asked him for proof which he didn't provide other than 2 pieces of twisted partial evidence which aren't concrete but if true are horrific. I'm hoping that the fact he didn't provide actual proof and that if he did have a relationship with my wife he would have told her we had spoken and I would have heard from her about it is a positive sign. Also I want to add that after speaking to him again he's still the horrible and probably sociopathic prick he showed himself to be back then and I wouldn't be surprised if he was lying to me. I'm going to say to her in person what he told me when she comes home this weekend. Edit. Right, well I'm not very tech savvy but I did what people suggested and put the picture on my Mac in the Photos app and it says at the top February 23rd 8:23. So he's full of shit about the picture being on the day I met my wife for lunch?
What was the piece of evidence he provided op? That's important info for us, people with outside perspective, to help.
If it's true and she has cheated on me then yes.
She might never tell you the truth. By the way, is there anything against that of relationship at their job?
What is the evidence? Is it something that can be corroborated or is it something she could dismiss out of hand like, how could you believe I would do that? Hopefully your impatience and reluctance to be cloak and dagger will not backfire.
I wasn't going to give the details because they're horrible but I guess it also gives an insight into the person I'm dealing with. He first sent a pic with pink smudges on it and asked if I recognized my wife's favorite shade of lipstick and that the picture was taken on a Monday a month ago. Me and my wife always meet for lunch once a week on our breaks from work and we did meet on a Monday about a month ago. She told me she would be running late because she had work to finish but he told me the real reason was because they went to his car to do that. I don't believe it's concrete because well that could have been anybody's lipstick taken at any time and they worked together so he could have easily known she was going to be late in meeting me because of work. He offered no actual proof.
Unfortunately, he probably isn't lying. If he wants you out of the way so he can take her for himself, lying about the situation to break you guys up would just her off. Whereas if it is true, him telling the truth may also her off, but her foot would be already halfway out the door.
According to him the relationship they had is already over. He wasn't in it for the long run.
Man, it's time for the cloak and dagger here. How many coincidences make a soft proof solid evidence? When you talk to her tell her that you talked to him and he told you everything and that if she want any chance to work it out she has to be honest. Then ask to check her phone right then and you talked with her before. What was the conversation like? What did you confront her with?
Well, if they had an affair he would have messages and things fully proving it. Not some partial twisted sent just to hurt me. I'm going to do all that when I see her. I told her that because she originally lied to me I think there is more going on and she obviously got upset and kept apologizing for lying but said absolutely nothing is going on with him other than a work relationship. Well, either way I think HR needs to be involved and it will be telling if she doesn't think she should inform HR what he has been saying about her if she tells me he's lying.
I agree, the evidence he provided isn't conclusive, nor is it really anything you can really use. However, his saying it happened may be enough to force her hand. You could say that you contacted him and he verified there was an affair. If she denies it, just say he sent proof and that it's enough evidence for you. If she still denies it, don't show her the evidence, just say you'll have to do what's best for you, given that she refuses to be honest with you. Say that he gave you times and dates of when things happened. This, when combined with the strange way they met and her lying about it, is all the proof you need to start the divorce process. See how she posts an update once you talk to her has been acting shady about this for a while. Given that and what he said, I feel pretty confident they had something going on. I'm really not sure why he would tell you they had an affair if they didn't. Unless his sole purpose was to exact revenge on you. But he must also know that it could get him fired. Either way, he's in.
Why would a serial cheater care to provide you proof? He is probably living the drama that is resulting from this circus.
Bluff her she was seen in his car on that day him. Let her prove reveal your source or how much you know.
Didn't you say previously that they work in the same office but not together? So how would he know she was meeting you and running late? He's either telling the truth or he's been prepared with the image and story for a month. Which one makes more sense? Edit. Depending on how he sent the pic, there may be metadata on it.
Based on her behavior, I doubt he is lying. I think if he was lying, he'd say they were still would cause the most damage.
Not necessarily. Sounds like he's an experienced cheater and they work at the same place. Easy to communicate in person or on work systems.
Dude, if she didn't cheat then there wouldn't be speculations she did cheat, she just did a semi-good enough job hiding it. That's why you can't find solid proof but with piece after piece after piece of, this is proof but only slightly. When will you realize all of it together is all the proof you need? She cheated, you know it, you're in denial.
Okay, you have no proof. But you did talk to him. You can prove that to her. You have the picture. Maybe her, maybe not. If it is her, it will show even more that he told you everything. My advice is this. Tell her that you talked to him. Offer her one chance to come clean. If she doesn't take it, tell him what he told you happened after Monday lunch. If she denies it, pull the picture for shock value. The whole time, you have read her face and demeanor. If she still denies it, offer to call him again and put it on speakerphone. It's risky, but you have no other cards to play. Wish you the best. If you want a good script for a confrontation, go look up Throw You Away 52's profile. She did some digging, talked to a lawyer, and then sat her husband down to confront him. She said she was aware of what he had been doing and that this was his one chance to come clean. She did not disclose what she knew, and when he asked how she knew, she replied, "That isn't important right now." Look her up. Her confrontation actually led to full disclosure and a chance for them to reconcile. Which she was not expecting. Go back and look at her first set of posts, especially, "Tonight he finds out I know," comments too, and "It went better than expected." The biggest keys were to not disclose exactly what she knew or how she knew it. And to not just talk and talk. Be comfortable with silence and let her feel pressured to speak. CR, Surviving Infidelity, and A's 1 After Infidelity for much more advice that is specific to infidelity.
I disagree with part of this. He might have something to gain. What if she wasn't interested in an affair, so the sociopath is trying to make her single? They already work together. He'd certainly be seeing her.
Before you get HR involved, consult a lawyer. If she's unemployed in a divorce, it can cost you more. Timing is everything.
I think this one is actually going too far, because if she really didn't cheat and Op says that she'll be hysterical trying to prove she didn't, he eventually have to tell her he lied about being seen getting in that man's car. Contrary to popular belief, I do think that you should trust your wife until you have concrete evidence. The guy is already considered unhinged, so really it is entirely possible that he's been obsessive and making up to break up your marriage. Tell her what he told you and that you saw a picture with her lipstick on his. See what she. Yeah, you can't 100% trust your wife, but why is it okay to trust this of a guy more than the woman you married?
If he's as much of a sociopath as you say, it sounds like he's making this up to with you. No reason to not show you legit proof.
How do you prove a negative in that case? There won't be receipts or pics showing she didn't cheat. This is just an indirect way to end the relationship.
How do you prove that? If my husband accused me of cheating, how would I prove I didn't do it?
Cloak and dagger stuff isn't for anyone. It isn't easy, but it is. You have no proof, empty words, and even more bet you still sit her down again and throw all your cards on the table and let her manipulate you emotionally. A far too common course of events, and you will be back here in a few weeks, years, regretting your I can tell you are putting all the blame on the app, but he didn't betray your marriage, your wife did. Being a sociopath has nothing to do with the fact that if she cheated she betrayed you, period. Your wife is an adult, she has her own free will, her actions are her going to have to come to terms with that, no running from the reality if the situation.
Bro, check your phone records. Google GPS. Anything, bro. Get smart. Do some sleuthing.
I'd be impressed if he can really tell that's her shade of lipstick. I'm a woman. I've only used one shade in like 8 years. But even if I saw it on plain white paper I wouldn't recognize it, much less recognize it on a.
If he's a sociopath, he could withhold legit proof just to keep from putting an end to speculation, or just because he can. He's got no empathy for op and is likely laughing about this.